Love is a divine assignment, not an accident. Love is not a random event that stumbles into our lives without meaning. It is a divine assignment written into the unseen script of our destiny. Long before two souls meet, before eyes recognize familiarity or hearts feel comfort, love is already being prepared by a higher intelligence that understands timing better than human impatience ever could. What we often call coincidence is in truth careful alignment. Love does not arrive by mistake, nor does it choose us casually. It comes when our soul is ready to learn, to heal, to grow, or sometimes to be broken open so that we can become more whole than we were before. Every meaningful connection carries a purpose, and every deep love carries a lesson assigned by something greater than us. When love enters our life, it is rarely convenient. It does not always arrive when we feel ready, stable, or fearless. Often, it appears in seasons of confusion, loneliness, or transformation. This is because divine love is not meant merely to comfort us, it is meant to evolve us. It challenges our wounds, exposes our insecurities, and forces us to confront parts of ourselves we have long ignored. If love were accidental, it would only please us. But because it is divine, it changes us. It asks us to rise above ego, fear, and past pain. It invites us into growth, not comfort. Every person who touches our heart deeply is part of an assignment. Some are sent to stay, others to awaken us and leave. Both are equally sacred. The ones who stay teach us how to build, how to trust, how to commit, and how to love beyond selfish desire. The ones who leave teach us resilience, self-worth, detachment, and the strength to stand alone. We may curse the pain of lost love, but pain itself is often a messenger. It carries wisdom that pleasure alone cannot deliver. Divine assignments are not always gentle. Sometimes they are storms meant to rearrange the soul. Love has timing because destiny has timing. Two people can love each other deeply and still meet at the wrong phase of their growth. This does not mean the love was false. It means the assignment was incomplete. Sometimes love is meant to teach rather than last. We resist this truth because we equate love with permanence, but the universe often equates love with preparation. A love that ends can still fulfill its divine purpose by shaping who we become next. Nothing is wasted. No genuine love is ever meaningless. When love is divinely assigned, it bypasses logic. You may not understand why you are drawn to a certain person, why their presence feels familiar, or why their absence feels unbearable. This is because the soul recognizes what the mind cannot explain. Divine love speaks the language of intuition, not reason. It pulls you toward growth, even when comfort begs you to stay the same. It disrupts your patterns and rewrites your expectations. This is why true love feels both beautiful and terrifying. It carries the weight of transformation. Many people spend their lives searching for love, unaware that love is not found, but revealed. When the time is right, when the lessons align, and when the soul is prepared, love appears naturally. You do not chase divine assignments. They find you. You can delay them through fear or avoidance, but you cannot escape them. If something is meant for your growth, it will circle back in different forms until the lesson is learned. This is why similar patterns repeat in relationships, until awareness replaces unconscious behavior. Divine love is not always romantic. Sometimes it appears as a friend who saves you during a dark season, a mentor who changes your direction, or a stranger who speaks a truth that stays with you forever. Love in its highest form is alignment. It brings you closer to your authentic self. Romantic love is simply one of its most intense expressions. When romance is divinely assigned, it does not just seek attraction, it seeks purpose. It pushes both souls toward becoming more honest, more compassionate, and more aware. Love assigned by the divine does not promise ease, but it promises meaning. It teaches patience in waiting, courage in choosing, and grace in letting go. It teaches us that we are not meant to possess another soul, but to walk beside them as they fulfill their own destiny. True love respects freedom because it understands that growth cannot be forced. When love is divine, it does not trap, it expands. Sometimes the greatest act of love is separation. When two people are no longer aligned in growth, love may release them rather than bind them. This release is not failure, it is completion. Divine assignments end when their purpose is fulfilled. Holding on beyond that point only creates suffering. Trusting divine love means trusting both its arrival and its departure. It means believing that what leaves is making space for what aligns more deeply with who you are becoming. Love also teaches us to surrender control. We want certainty, guarantees, and promises, but divine love operates on faith. It asks us to show up fully without knowing the outcome. It asks us to love bravely, even when there is risk of loss. This courage is not weakness, it is spiritual strength. To love deeply in an uncertain world is one of the highest expressions of faith. When you understand that love is a divine assignment, you stop begging for it and start preparing for it. You work on healing your wounds, strengthening your boundaries, and aligning with your truth. You realize that the quality of love you receive often reflects the relationship you have with yourself. Divine love meets us at the level of our self-respect, not our desperation. In the end, love is not about finding someone perfect. It is about becoming aware of why someone entered your life, what they awakened in you, and how they contributed to your evolution. Love is the universe's way of shaping the soul through connection. It is sacred because it transforms. It is purposeful because it teaches. And it is never accidental because nothing that changes you so deeply could ever be random. Love arrives when it must, stays as long as it should, and leaves when it has done its work. Trust that. What is divinely assigned will not miss you, and what misses you was never meant to define you. When love comes again, and it always does, it will meet a wiser, stronger, more awakened version of you. And in that meeting, you will finally understand, love was never an accident. It was always part of the plan. Love, when seen through divine awareness, is never about possession. It is about purpose. Most human suffering in love comes from misunderstanding its nature. We are taught to believe love is something to hold tightly, to secure, to protect from loss. But divine love is not fragile. It does not ask to be owned, it asks to be honored. When love is assigned by a higher power, it arrives with freedom, not fear. It teaches us that attachment and devotion are not the same. Attachment clings out of insecurity, while devotion flows from trust. Many people mistake intensity for destiny. They believe that strong emotions automatically mean forever. But divine love is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet, steady, and deeply grounding. It does not create chaos in the soul. It brings clarity. It may still challenge you, but it will not destroy your sense of self. If a connection consistently pulls you away from your values, your peace, and your growth, it is not a divine assignment. It is a distraction disguised as passion. Divine love aligns you with your highest self, not your deepest fears. When love is divinely guided, it teaches accountability. You begin to see your patterns clearly, why you choose certain people, why you fear abandonment, why you struggle with vulnerability. Love becomes a mirror, reflecting both your light and your shadows. This is uncomfortable, but sacred. Growth rarely feels gentle while it is happening. The soul expands through awareness, and love is one of the universe's most powerful tools for awakening consciousness. Some souls are connected across lifetimes, not to guarantee permanence, but to complete unfinished lessons. This is why certain connections feel instant, intense, and strangely familiar. These are not coincidences. They are reminders. But familiarity does not always mean compatibility in the present moment. Two souls may recognize each other and still be unable to walk together right now. Divine timing matters more than emotional desire. When timing is ignored, love becomes painful. When timing is honored, love becomes peaceful. Divine love also teaches patience. Not everything meant for you will come immediately. Sometimes love is delayed because you are still becoming the person who can receive it without fear, control, or self-sabotage. The waiting period is not punishment, it is preparation. During this time, life teaches you self-love, emotional maturity, and discernment. When love finally arrives, it no longer feels like rescue. It feels like partnership. True love does not complete you, it complements you. You were whole before it arrived, and you remain whole even if it leaves. This understanding frees you from desperation. When you know love is divine, you stop chasing it through compromise. You stop shrinking yourself to be chosen. You trust that what is meant for you will meet you where you are, not where you pretend to be. Divine love respects boundaries. It does not demand self-betrayal. It does not require you to abandon your dreams, your faith, or your inner voice. Instead, it supports your evolution. If love requires you to lose yourself to keep it, it is not sacred, it is conditional. Divine love may require sacrifice, but never self-erasure. There are moments when love feels absent, when loneliness settles deeply in the heart. These moments are not failures of destiny. They are spaces of self-discovery. Solitude teaches you how to sit with yourself, how to listen inward, how to heal without external validation. Many people fear being alone, but divine love often begins in solitude. It prepares you to love without fear of abandonment, because you have learned how to stay with yourself. Even heartbreak, when viewed spiritually, it breaks illusions, not hearts. It reveals what was unbalanced, what was ignored, and what was never aligned. Pain sharpens awareness. While it hurts deeply, it also clears the path. After heartbreak, the soul sees more clearly. Standards rise. Tolerance for emotional chaos decreases. This is not bitterness, it is wisdom. When love is truly divine, it feels natural. There is effort, but not exhaustion. There is passion, but also peace. There is depth without destruction. You are allowed to grow individually while growing together. You do not fear honesty, because love is not fragile. You do not fear silence, because connection is secure. This kind of love is rare, not because it is impossible, but because it requires two emotionally awakened souls to meet at the right time. Ultimately, love is one of the universe's greatest teachers. It humbles the ego, softens the heart, and strengthens the spirit. Whether it comes to stay or to teach, it arrives with intention. When you stop labeling love as luck or accident, you begin to treat it with reverence. You become more conscious in your choices, more patient in your waiting, and more graceful in your letting go. Trust the assignments of love. Trust who enters, who stays, and who leaves. Nothing is random. Every connection carries a message. Every love leaves a mark. And every mark shapes who you are becoming. Love is not a gamble of fate. It is a sacred design, unfolding exactly as it should.